Greetings, all Shardvixen here. If you hear my dog moaning in the background, it's because he wants to go out, and my son is in the middle of doing something, so, and I am too cold right now to take them out. I'm so mean. They just were out. They haven't been to the dog park in a couple of days, and they're getting a little antsy. But my daughter keeps working longer and longer, so... Anyway, today is What Does the Vixen Say? Now, originally, I created this particular topic for all of you out there to ask me questions about things. I don't have enough people that are interested in doing that to have conversations all the time. So, what I decided to do was I was going to get rid of it and put something else in. And then I decided I really like it. It's a very good kind of thing. And down the road, if I end up ever having more than 10 people interested in me, it probably is a good thing to already have set up. I'm on number, I don't know, hang on. Let me get closer. This is number 20 of What Does the Vixen Say? So I'm going to keep it around for a while. Though it does bring up another question. When should you give up? When should you stop doing something? Because it's like nobody's really caring. I don't know. But maybe I just do these for me. But I came up with this thing that my son gave me a bunch of these cards that were given to him that are called Loaded Questions. It's a game. And apparently there's an adult version. But what I have is the kid version, or under 18 version, I guess. So I'm going to start doing some of those. I'll put other questions in. But we'll do loaded questions off and on. And you are always welcome to send me a question. You can send it through email, Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube's comments. You can go to my Discord. That's probably the best place to do it. I have a whole channel, a room. Channel room. I guess Discords are servers. So I have a server, and then within the server you have channels. So I have a channel within my server called What Does the Vixen Say? So you can go there and ask questions. Any question. It can be any question you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to go. See, these are called Loaded Questions Junior. Alright. And I'm really cold. It's creeping up my legs. I was supposed to go someplace, so I didn't put my slippers on. But now I think I'm going to go up and put my slippers on, which I forgot to get. But I did get some long johns. And tights, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be all toasty warm. I won't have to wear the piñata. Alright, so I don't know what the categories mean. You have a category, so, like, I don't know if you guys can see that. See, look at those little symbols. I have no idea what those symbols mean. I don't have the whole game, I just have the cards. So, if you were in a dark jungle, what would you scare you most? The dark jungle would scare me the most. Why that is because I have to look it up, and I'll put it up there someplace. It's where I see images that are different than what the images are. It's the most common one of that is people seeing a face in the moon. So there's where you see faces in the moon. You see faces in objects, random objects create faces. But I see that too, but I also see objects are different. My brain will perceive them to be different. So let's say a tree with vines on it could look like a person to me, and it would freak me out. I've had that happen to me many times. Once I was driving by the road, and I looked over, and I swear I thought I saw a flamingo on the side of the road. I had to turn around and go back, and then it was just this weird traffic thing. So it was very bizarre. I forgot how to turn on my thing. Alright, so I'd be afraid in a jungle. I would be afraid because it was dark. Because my eyes do that in daylight. And then it'd be in dark, it's like double worse. I can't tell what the shadows and images are. What I might think is a plant could be something that wants to eat me. And what I think is something that wants to eat me would be a plant. My anxiety and stress would be so high. I don't know. I've been so afraid like that in the past where I just run blindly. And then other times I'm paralyzed from the anxiety. Like I just want to dig in and... So I'd be afraid of the dark jungle. And then on top of that, you'd be afraid of all the things you knew were in the jungle. So depending on which jungle you were in, there would be jaguars or leopards, and then you'd have anacondas and piranhas and leeches, and oh my god, just and then people. Not to even count people you didn't know, because sometimes people you don't know are rude and mean to you. Sorry. And sometimes they're not. So I'd be hoping I'd find somebody that was nice. All right, next question. What is the nicest present you have ever given someone? Oh, well, that's not an answer, a question you can give. If you've ever looked, I had a vlog, you go back a while, it's about gift giving. And a lot of people argued with me about that. Anyway, my philosophy and the psychology and philosophy behind gift giving is that we give things to people based on us. So what I think is the nicest present possibly wouldn't be the nicest present to somebody else. One of the really nice presents I thought I gave once was I didn't actually give it. I bought it for someone else to give to somebody. So there was a guy I was dating who didn't have a job, was having a really rough time. He was trying to rebuild his life. He had gotten out of jail and was trying to rebuild his life. And he had a son who he hadn't seen in a very long time, and he really wanted to make a big impact on seeing the kid. And the kid had asked for Christmas for a PlayStation 2, and his mom wasn't going to get it for him. I don't remember what the reason was. Maybe it was money. So I had a credit card at the time, and I went down and I bought the PlayStation for him. I bought one for my family and then one for him because there was a sale going on at the time. And some games, and then I gave it to him to give to his son. I think that's a pretty nice gift. That would be a gift that I would really enjoy getting. Somebody buying me a PlayStation, yeah. For me, the nicest gifts are the ones somebody makes. So I've made a lot of really nice gifts, but the person I gave them to didn't really think they were that nice gifts. So again, that's that whole thing that what I think is nice and what someone else thinks is nice might not be nice. I made this beautiful. I loved it. She can't find it, so she can't give it back to me. It's not put up or anything. But for my mother, I made this. I had learned about watercoloring in school. I was in college at the time, and I made this beautiful Harlequin, and I gave it to her with the hope she'd frame it and put it up, and I don't know where it went. It's gone. So again, that's an odd question. I mean, what is the nicest gift you've given somebody? I would have thought, what is the nicest gift you got? But then I have too many of those. So, I gave my grandmother a dog once. That's a pretty nice gift. I don't know. That's a question. Like I said, I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. What is your favorite thing to do at the beach? At the beach, I'm stretching. I love to build in the sand. That's my favorite. Not just sand castles. On one of my, I think it's on my Shardvixen's Magnificent channel. I'm not positive. I have where I did my name in the sand. I do that a lot, but I like to build castles, and I like to use sand as a sculpting media. Second thing I like to do is walk to a beach. I like to walk the whole beach. I'm so weird that way. Looking at stuff. If it's a rocky beach, I really like it because there's stuff in the rocks and stuff. But that is swimming. I've only swam in the ocean twice in my life. It's too damn freaking cold for me. It hurts my bones. Hurts the skin, hurts my bones, and then the salt is kind of hard on my skin. I've been fishing. That's pretty good. Fishing at the beach is fun. Hanging out with people is fun. But I guess building in the sand is probably the one thing I like the best. What is the number one reason you get punished? Okay, so this is a kid thing. I don't do it in the past. What was the number one reason I got punished or to have something taken away from you by your parents? this may be hard to believe, but it's my mouth always got me in trouble. I would do something, and then I would argue it and get. First, it would be so. Let me see if I can think of one. Okay, so I forgot to load the dishwasher, and then my mother said, "Well, you're grounded for a couple of days," and I'd be like, "But it's not my job to clean up after your boyfriends." And then that, of course, got me in trouble. And then I'd be like, "That's just what you do something like that," and then I'd get in trouble. And then I'd have a tantrum, and then I'd get in more trouble. So what started out a couple of days of groundation would end up being like 6 months of groundation. And my mother's idea of being grounded was no phone, no books, no nothing. I kind of had to sit in my room and contemplate that which I had mouthed off at, and that maybe I should not mouth off. So, yeah. And then when I lived with my father, that got me in trouble still. But that ended up being more physical. My father and I had physical alterations because I'd be mouthy. And I have learned to a degree to try not to be so mouthy, but that has always gotten me in trouble as an adult as well. All right, that's the end of that one. So we're going to stick those over there. All right, another one. Be sure to let me know if you like the loaded question ones, because if you like the loaded questions, I have a whole stack of the puppies, so we could go through quite a few of them in a couple, and I can do it again. I probably will anyway, but if you really like it, I'll do it sooner, because I think the next one's more like a topic question. Next, in a month from now, it'll be this November 30th. So the end of the month, I do another What Does the Vixen Say? My dog is chasing a fly. He gets very, and then the two of them start doing things. If you can if you could compete in one Olympic sport, what would it be? Archery. I would do the archery. Archery, and in the past, probably the dancing, the gymnastics thing now they've added the twirlies and stuff like that. But I think archery would have been the one. I've loved archery my whole life. I've made bows. I made homemade bows when I was a kid. I have a thing for making long bows. I'm not very crafty that way, but maybe sometime down the road I'll learn how to make them by hand again. That work. I've made them with other people. I was going to join the Longbow Association a long time ago, but they weren't very friendly. That's just me. Everywhere I go to join a group, they're not very friendly to me. I have to try really hard. Sometimes I just don't want to try very hard. And I would have wanted a gold, but archery just seems like it would have been a fun Olympic sport. And be sure, any of these questions I give out, you guys can answer in the comments. Don't be shy. If you like that question, you thought that's a cool question, go ahead. Answer it. What would make you the luckiest person in the world? Win the lottery. If I won the lottery, I would think I was the luckiest person. Everything else that I've kind of wanted in life, in some way or another, I kind of gotten it. But yeah, if I could win the lottery, that'd be like, woohoo, woohoo, yeah, because, I could get a house for my kids, property, like I've always wanted. I have the exact house in mind. I could, the house I want to build is like a castle. I want to build, but it's not really a castle. It's a U-shaped house, right? I know you have a hard time looking at this, but like U-shaped house like that. And so one side is the bedrooms, like the master bedroom and stuff, and the other side is the kids or guest bedrooms. And then in the front part is your living room and or kitchen area. And then I'd like to have 2 stories, so actually you would have office and crafting rooms up on top, and then I want towers. And then in this part right here is an indoor-outdoor patio with a koi pond, and then and it would go out into your garden out around the house. Do I want a moat? I would love to have a moat with a drawbridge. That'd be kind of cool. Zombies could fall into it. I'd like to have a basement style survival kind of thing. That's what I'd spend most of my money on, I think. But then I would have a studio room, big giant internet box thingy. I don't know, satellite, so I could pick up the internet on my own. I don't know, and then I could support other people. That would be the second plus of that, is that I could donate money to Savjazz. I could donate money to charities. I could start my own charity if I wanted. I could set up a foundation for people, for families in need or something. There's so much stuff we could do. I could, if I won the lottery, things would be interesting too. It'd be interesting, that's for sure. I could start my business faster. Yes, I want to start a business. Ask me about it sometime. I'm not going to say much about it now until I get started. I've said bits about it over time, pieces and stuff. Okay, you keep seeing a picture of my head. That's how this works. Uh-oh, I don't know which one I was at. Oh, there we go. What is the worst thing you have ever experienced? Ooh. Oh, I've experienced a lot of rather nasty shit. I don't know. Worst thing. That's an odd question for me. Being sick with pneumonia was pretty bad. I almost died. I don't know. Because I have long experiences of violence in my life. That was pretty bad. Being someplace where people wanted to hurt you was pretty bad. I don't know. I can't think of what the worst. It's pretty bad. I can't think of the worst. Because when I think worst, like really bad. I can't think of any of them that are really, really, really bad because I survived. I think when I got raped, at the time I was thinking that was the worst thing that could happen, but there are other things, and I'm not downplaying if you've been raped. I'm just saying that when you come out on the other end of it, there are worse things like having to deal with it and having to deal with how other people deal with it. That's pretty bad too. But I can't think of a single worst thing that has ever happened to me. I've had lots of bad things happen to me, but I can't think of the single worst thing. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. That's kind of a sad, horrible thought. But maybe nothing ever really worse is going to happen to me. For me, dying would be the worst thing that would happen because there's no coming back from that in this reality. Unless I'm a ghost. But I want to live forever, so we'll see. I'm working hard on that aspect. This is interesting. What makes you want to study harder? For some people, that would be an answer. It would be, I don't want to study harder. But what would be an answer? What made me study harder when I was in school? Because I was in school all the way up to 2014, off and on. I always like to do the best I can. I don't think study harder is actually a very good sentence. I would think, what makes you want to know what you're studying? Because you can study, here's a secret. You can study right before you take a test. I can at least study right before you take a test. Do good on the test. Once I know how people do the test. And then not remember any of it. What I learned about going to school for my degrees is that you learn the information, but you have to have the experience to put that information to work. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You can have all the information in the world, but it's never really gonna click. You'll know the application of it, but it'll never really click till you have to use it. And so, I've seen that in lots of stuff. When I had to do all the first aid stuff, I knew all the first aid stuff, but I didn't know how to. It wasn't until I actually had to use it that it went, that's why you do it that way, or that's why this is done this way. Sorry, it's not like it was off, but I'm not sure it is. Anyway, so that's how that is. I don't think I have time for another one. And again, so like I'm saying, if you like the loaded questions concept, I will be adding it in. But if you want to see more of it sooner, I can move some of my other questions around. I just figure it's kind of a fun thing because I can come up with tons and tons of questions on my own. But this is more like somebody else asking me questions. And again, if any of you want to ask me questions, that's fine. I've been thinking about maybe doing a part of a vlog where I really like where people interview other people, and I really like interviewing people. So I was thinking that I might like to do some interviews with people. We don't have to do them live or on vlog. What I can do is I can send you a series of questions and you can answer those questions, and then I can say your name, for example, like the Long Roger, who's my monitor, and I say, so I send him these questions and here's his questions back. Uh, or we can do streamers. Any of you streamers out there that might like to be interviewed or would like a series of questions to ask both on your own channel and then I can do them on this channel or something. I just thought it'd be fun to do more stuff with the community out there, so you guys let me know. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a great weekend.